Welcome to Bart's Gaming Corner. With the release of patch 7 in Baldur's Gate 3, it is time to give you some of the latest news on the improvements. While with most games I'm not that interested in giving detailed news before the full version is released, the Baldur's Gate series has a very special place in my heart, and Baldur's Gate 3 is a game where I'm most excited about. So let's dive in. First, Barbarian. Probably the biggest improvement in this patch is the introduction of the Barbarian class and subclasses, namely the Berserker and the Wild Heart subclass. Developer Larian has promised us that in the full game all classes from the D&D playbook will become available, but in this early access edition not every class is playable yet. So it is fun to experiment with this fighter type of class. The Barbarian, as we know it, is a character focused on melee combat, but has a couple of unique feats and attacks that make it somewhat more interesting to play with than a run-of-the-mill fighter. The Berserker subclass, for instance, gets additional attacks, and the Wild Heart subclass can draw upon the strength of its spirit animal. From what I saw, a Barbarian can absolutely wreak havoc amongst enemy parties. Improved graphics and cinematics. As with the earlier patches, this update has some tweaks and improvements with regards to the graphics. In the first version I played several months ago, the overall graphics were already quite impressive, but at times there were some weird glitches reminiscent of those you could find in Assassin's Creed Revolution in 2014. For instance, the face of my main character just plain disappeared for a while, apart from the eyes, giving the game an eerie, unintended horror vibe. Slowly but surely all these glitches are being removed by the latest patches, ensuring that we will have an impressive finished product. In-game map and improved HUD UI. Some minor improvements have been implemented in the HUD UI user interface and the in-game map. For instance, the map is no longer a square, but a nice, concise circle. As several other game channels have called, a map like a map should look. Next to that, the HUD user interface has gotten some minor improvements, making it easier and more intuitive to use. New attacks, weapons and items. The Barbarian brings with him or her a new set of attacks where you can utilize the environment as well, for instance using chairs or other furniture, from what I saw. Other classes can use these types of attacks as well, although I haven't had the time to test these yet. There is a new set of throwing weapons such as knives and javelins, etc., which can be equipped now. These were already a feature in the original Baldur's Gate games, and now in Baldur's Gate 3 as well. Although I must admit, with my characters in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, I almost never played with throwing weapons. Next to that, the number of special or magical weapons and items have been improved, giving a more Dungeons and Dragons feel to the game. Doors and lighting. A fun new feature is that you can't see anymore what is in the other side of a closed door. Could beforehand, many times, so for instance you could see an enemy party and prepare for that, which made the game easier. Now you have to actually open a door to see what's behind it. In my opinion, this helps better in immersing in the game. Dark and light fixtures in buildings and dungeons are better as well. Dark vision was a feature that could be too heavy-handed when playing with a human character. From what I saw and read, this has been improved as well. Download size. Patch 7 needs a stiff 100 GB of data, which is reserved on your hard disk during the actual download itself. Meaning that you have to have a temporary 100 GB of extra space on your hard disk next to the already heavy hard disk space of Baldur's Gate 3 itself. so be prepared for that. Other features are listed in the patch notes, on which I have included a link in the description. When will Baldur's Gate 3 actually become available? And by that I mean the full game, with every level and quest. I've done a lot of research to acquire the knowledge on when Larian is releasing the full game, but a hard date is still not available. And if you know it, please post it in the comments. Some other YouTubers are saying that by all accounts Baldur's Gate 3 will be released at the end of 2022, in October or November. Others are banking on either 2023 or even 2024. I certainly hope that Baldur's Gate 3 will be released before that. So I'm betting on the end of this year, 2022.